previous video, I talked about how money was used as a tool of colonization, how it disconnected us from the land, from community, and from ourselves. But money isn't the only chains. Our minds are just as colonized. And in America, that colonization runs deep. America wasn't just founded on genocide and slavery. It was designed to erase the truth that genocide and slavery ever happened. That's why history here is taught with pride, not shame. That's why people wave flags for stolen land. That's why freedom is used to defend injustice. This isn't just about textbooks, it's about the mindset we were conditioned into. White people were taught they were superior, black people were taught they were inferior, indigenous people were taught that they were gone, and everyone was taught not to question the system. And the result? A country full of people who don't even realize they've been psychologically manipulated from birth to accept injustice as normal, to defend oppression as freedom, to mistrust themselves and each other. That's why so many people feel powerless, broken, disconnected. They've internalized a belief that they are doomed to repeat history, as if violence is a human nature, not the result of systems that were violently imposed on all of us. Let's talk facts. America didn't just brutalize people physically, it rewired their minds. Slavery and race creation. In the 1600s, poor black and white workers were uniting, so the colonial elite got nervous and they passed down laws to split them. White workers got small privileges and black people were enslaved for life. This wasn't just about labor, it was psychological warfare. Create division, invent race, plant fear where unity could have grown. Indigenous boarding schools. Native children were kidnapped, their hair cut off, their languages beaten out of them. They were taught that their culture was evil and their names were erased. That's not education, that's colonization of the soul, and the trauma didn't stop with them. It passed down through generations. Medical racism. From the Tuskegee experiments to the torture of black women in the name of gynecology, this country has a long history of using black bodies as experiments, without consent, without care, without apology. Yet we still quote those founding fathers, still trust those systems, still tell people they have to earn their right to live with dignity. This country was built to break people apart, turn nations into races, turn families into property, turn spirit into sin, turn healing into a business. We are taught to distrust ourselves, hate our bodies, doubt our emotions, ignore our intuition, and live from fear. That's not a side effect, that's the design, because disconnected people are easier to control. If you hate yourself, you'll always look outside of yourself for salvation. If you think you're broken, you will beg for scraps of belonging. If you don't know your history, you will mistake abuse for authority. Even in the so-called spiritual world, colonization is hiding in plain sight. People quote Carl Jung for shadow work without acknowledging that much of his work was inspired by and taken from ancient traditions like in the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. Once again, Europeans took knowledge that already existed for thousands of years about energy, dreams, healing the soul, and rebranded it through a colonial lens. And now we're told that is the correct version. But truth didn't come from those who raped, murdered, and erased entire cultures. Truth was surviving them. That's not enlightenment, that's colonized spirituality. That's ego in a crystal robe. So yes, this is about money, but it's deeper than that. It's about the mindset we were given to keep chasing it. It's about how we treat ourselves, how we treat each other, how we judge, divide, and rank one another, based on lies passed down from colonizers. True decolonization doesn't start with protest signs or policies. It starts with remembrance. It starts when you say, I am not broken, I am not disposable, I am not less than, I deserve rest, I deserve nourishment, I deserve truth, and so does everyone else. If you take nothing else from this, let it be this. You are not too late, you are not too broken, you are not too behind. You do not need the system's permission to be whole, to be free, to be you. You were never the problem, you were always the threat, because you still have the power to remember who you are.